everyone. I'm Addiego from North San Juan, California. I'm a major on the Latitude 64 team, and this is what's in my bag. I'm going to start with the putters. These are my putting putters. This is just a classic Judge, max weight, real firm. Got this cool owl stamp, DD owl stamp. I like a putter with a cool stamp on it. I feel like it helps for some reason. I've got my upshot putter, which is a first run Judge. Really beat up. It basically flies like a frisbee, beach frisbee, and throw it soft, and it just glides and goes straight. Doesn't really hyzer. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without this disc in my bag. And then I have another Judge that's not quite as beat as that one, but semi beat up, and I use this for driving. You know, I can hold many angles with it. Still has a lot of life in it, so it will hyzer back if you throw it with the right angle and the right speed. And then for more overstable driving putters, I use the Cenis. I have a zero hard one. This one, I actually will never ever take this out of my bag. It's just such a reliable disc in the wind or just to hyzer. It's just really overstable meat hook. You can use it for sidearms. I've been using it on windy and rainy days. It's got these nice finger pads for your grip, and it's so overstable that you could almost throw it on an anhyzer into a headwind and it'll still fight out of it. So when I want to run a putt with a nasty headwind and I just know that my Judge is just going to turn over, I'll use this. And then I have a softer one for just sticking it right in place when you need to throw an upshot and you don't want it to skip away, because this one will skip a little bit. And then let's go to my mid-ranges. Let's go from most understable to most overstable. I carry a Goldline core. This disc is amazing. I recommend it to any beginner, to a pro with a lot of power, but I'll use this for hyzer flips when I need it to just end right. I'll use it for rollers, mid-range rollers. Once it hits the ground, it kind of just stays pretty straight. It's a useful shot to have. And I've got a Lucid Truth, EMAC Truth, and this disc is amazing. I feel like I could do anything with this disc. Throw an anhyzer, straight shot, hyzer shot. You can get a lot of movement with it. It's really controllable. I'll throw it in the woods. And then almost like a similar flight, real controllable, as the Claymore, but I'll use this for even tighter woods or when I need maximum control, because I feel like it just goes straight. Great disc, and it goes pretty far too. And then for more of a hyzer mid-range, I use a Payne. This one I think is a little lighter, maybe a 175. It'll flip up a little bit for me if I throw it hard. Kind of go straight, not that much hyzer at the end. But I've got this heavier one. It's a meat hook. So this is a great wind disc, and just my meat hook left. Maybe some little sidearm flick up shots, but yeah. So that's it for my mid-ranges. I have, let's see what I have for fairways. We're going to go from most understable to most overstable. I carry a Fury. I love this disc. It flips up very easily, it's very understable. I use it for rollers and you know, standstill shots where you want to, you know, do a hyzer flip up and you you don't have a run up, or it's just really easy to throw. Also a good beginner disc. The Fury is great. I'm more on the overstable side of my turnover drivers is the St. Pro. I can get this to flip up and just ride and hold right, but it won't. If I throw it flat, it won't get to the point where it hits and turns into a roller like the Fury. And then I have a Stag, which I feel like is very controllable, a little bit more overstable than that St. Pro. It's kind of new to my bag, but it's really growing on me, so I'll let you guys know what ends up happening with that guy. And then I've got this Deco Dye St. Pro Super Domey, amazing fairway driver, very overstable. It's pretty new still, so once it beats in, I'm sure it'll hyzer flip a little bit more, but for the most part, this thing just, you know, goes left at the end. Yeah, overstable fairway. And then a little bit more overstable than that is my Trident. I'm carrying an Opto Trident, and I love this disc. I don't use it so much for sidearms anymore. I used to, but it's just a really controllable hyzer disc that it skips a little bit, but not much, and just sits and parks. And I've gotten so many park jobs with this disc on all the short holes where you need to get the birdie. This thing gets the birdie. And then my newest favorite disc is the Felon. I use it for sidearms mostly, and maybe some hyzer shots. But if I'm throwing a fairway hyzer shot, I normally use the Trident. But oh yeah, sidearm rollers too with this guy. And then let's go to my fast drivers. Most understable to overstable. I've got this Goldline Havoc that I just started throwing, and I already feel like I've thrown this disc my whole life. It flies exactly how I want it to. I've been using it for hyzer flips, but mostly rollers. You can just smash it on about that angle, kind of high, and it hits on a roller angle and will always come out right, and it just goes forever. This thing really cooks down the fairway. And then the Trespass is one of my hyzer flip discs in the Moonshine plastic, and I'll also throw this for hyzer flips sidearm. I love this disc in the woods because it'll flip up with not that much power and still go really far, so I feel like I can really control this disc. I always have a Trespass in my bag. And then if I want to get a little bit more distance and have some more stability on it and be able to really smash into it, I have this Tournament Plastic Giant that I really love. It's been in my bag for a long time. I got an ace with it on a golf course. Great disc. Once you get one of these worked in, it just goes. I can throw a big backhand and hyzers that'll hold all the way, or I could throw a big hyzer flip. This thing's awesome. A little bit more overstable than that. Very slow. I mean, not very slow, but slower than the Giant hyzer flip up disc. The Villain. I've got this Premier Edition Villain. Love this disc a lot. I'll sidearm this too. Great disc. And then for a big bomb hyzer that just cruises and flips up a little bit but finishes left, I use a what is this? The VIP Giant. Love this disc. Probably saying that a lot, but I really do love all these discs. This one, when I first got it, I didn't think it was gonna fly like it does, but it's really awesome. The Elasto World. It's a little bit more overstable than any other World I've had, which is nice. You can really rip into this, and since it's that elastoplastic, you can grip into it pretty good and rip it, and it'll come back. It's a bomber. This disc goes far. And then for my hyzer shots and forehand shots that I want to hyzer every time, no matter what, in the wind, I've been using a Fusion Enforcer. And this disc is so predictable, really overstable, great backhand hyzer disc, always goes left. And then even more beefy than that is my Glow. I think it's got to be a Moonshine Enforcer. Stiff, kind of domey, thing's a meat hook, and gotta have one of these in your bag for a windy day. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and that's what's in my bag. See you later.